Hello everybody and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns. Broadcasting you Link to the Past NMG Tournament 2021. We got the lower bracket round 6 for you today. It's SNES Chalmers versus shkoople. Commentating for us we have Fricker22 and Misanthropic Buddha. Say hello everybody.
Hello everybody.
Hello everyone. Alright, so this is it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 6th round of the losers bracket. So today, as already mentioned, we got shkoople. Shkoople? I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah, shkoople.
Shkoople, okay, very good. And Chalmers with the underscore. So, of course, good luck to all the racers and whatnot. So, Fricker, what do you have regarding these two runners?
So both these runners have excellent PBs in this category. SNES Chalmers with 126.35 and shkoople with a 127.44. So less than a minute apart. Anything can happen in this run as we've seen throughout the tournament, and should be fast, should be fun, and pretty excited for this matchup.
Indeed, yeah. The when I grabbed the times later or earlier on the SRC, it was a bit of we had a fake news situation because Chalmers didn't submit his PB yet.
How dare you, Chalmers?
Or he may have submitted it and it didn't go through, or they didn't approve it yet. Either way, that's how I'm blaming him regardless.
Yeah, and I believe the winner of this round plays Foxlisk. So
that'll be interesting to see because Foxlisk also a good runner of his own. Oh, I need to turn on my own audio here. There we go. Oh, Greenham, the queue is clear. Okay.
Well, we can just blame Chalmers then.
All right, then Chalmers gets the full blame. Then thank you, Ham, for the clarification. Yoho calling me out in chat of where's my Super NT. Yoho, once mine shows up someday, I will send yours back.
All right, so yeah, starting off with Escape. Pretty straightforward first segment of the NMG run. Basically, we're just gonna get some keys by killing some guards. We actually skipped the first chest in Link's house, as you all saw. We don't want to get the lamp just yet. We want to get the boomerang first, and then we go downstairs, fight our first mini boss, which is the hardest boss in the category, and then we rescue Zelda and make our way out.
Right. So of course, as everyone knows here, it's pretty mundane for most speedrunners here. But as Fricker mentioned, the only time it would be an issue will be ball and chain. But there'll be possibly some issues here coming up with the first key guard.
Yeah, I'm sure both runners are going to do kind of the up and right, where they charge their spin and then go to the right of the guard. Looks like it, yep. Try to get that key to drop as close to the locked door as they can. Both runners having a very good screen there.
Yeah, definitely. Just because I always say it's tricky, just because, as you're kind of insinuating, you can miss miss that first spin, then you have to do another slash, or the guard doesn't get anywhere near the door, so that can take a little bit of time. But they are really in sync. I mean, literally in sync, as shkoople picked up a heart pot.
But yeah, basically going through Escape, some important things that you'll see from these runners. They're going to be doing some pumping movement, which can help reset their movement to be a little bit faster. But more importantly, just having clean doors, not nudging any kind of corners or rails. And then most importantly, at the back half of Escape, they really need to pay attention to the enemy RNG and just have really fast reaction time.
Right, and both are going for the 8 slash. That's interesting. Chalmers gets his first. shkoople not that far behind. So pretty good times here coming into rescuing Zelda.
Yeah, that ball and chain can be a giant bully sometimes. Either getting hit by the ball and chain or just clinking your sword can lose a hefty amount of time, but only taking one hit from both runners, not too bad. Most of the enemies in Escape only hit for like a quarter heart of damage, so they shouldn't have too much to worry about, especially along the way. There are some safety hearts that they can choose to grab.
Right, so we will see how that goes. Because yeah, pretty much I guess the only worries, if any, would be probably just the snakes, honestly, because they do half a heart.
Yeah, the snakes can be bullies for sure. Hopefully, both runners get good RNG. It's just a number of roams like back to back that really can lose you time in this beginner segment here. Just how the snakes form, if you can get through or not, and same thing with some of the rats and the bats that can get in your way. But more particular, the rat key room can really run away from you going to the top left of the screen, which can lose a considerable amount of time rather than just having the key rat run straight at you. So we'll see how it goes.
Right, and of course, as we saw, both runners having pretty good reaction times with having to deal with the guards, coming out back to the front here. And so we're getting near, as we already mentioned, we're about 2 rooms away from the first big RNG, I guess, of just really this split would have to be the snake room. But first, we have the dark room here. The only thing we're going to be mindful of is possibly the rat that comes out in front as you touch the corner, as I think both actually had to deal with.
Yeah, that rat's called Master Splinter, by the way.
Okay, very good. My apologies, I'm not familiar with all the names yet. Both had pretty good snake rooms as we're moving in here to get the small key. Chalmers, unfortunately, had a kiss with the bat. Shkoople did not, so they're both, again, pretty close. Only obviously less than a second apart.
Yeah, both of them are just neck and neck going into the key rat room. So we'll see how the RNG is for both of them. Chalmers gets a good one, and Shkoople looks to get the same RNG, so that's always nice. They're both getting hit by the rat at the top of the wall there.
So yeah, so at least that was good. Shame about the rat though. So it looked like Shkoople had to take a slash. It looked like Chalmers got through a little bit faster. Chalmers taking a hit. I'm assuming for intentional beat frames. Kappa.
Yeah, as long as Chalmers is on a console, which I believe he is, he actually gets to save quite a bit of time here in the priest text, just for being on one heart. The beeping kind of makes the text go faster.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming they're both on console. I really wasn't paying attention when they were warming up.
Alright, both runners grabbing the best safety in the game, the Sanctuary Heart, which will not only give you an extra heart for health, but also will completely heal you.
Peter has informed me they are both on console. Thank you, DoomTap. And so again here, had, pretty decent, nothing real crazy here until they get to, and I say crazy loosely with respect to the segment, it would have to be what's coming up now, the old Octorock field here. And so, looks like both Chalmers and Shkoople getting pretty good, well, really almost ideal. No rocks.
Yeah, it was definitely a good Octorock field. This overworld, the Eastern, can be a little tiresome just because there's so much pumping that both these runners are going to be doing, especially when they're going up one tile wide staircase, if you will. Double pumping will speed them up considerably going through this, so it's a lot of exhaustion on the D-pad for this overworld.
Yeah, it's just usually whenever I get a new D-pad for my controller, this is literally what I do, is I'll run through Eastern Overworld to see how good or bad it is, trying to get used to it.
Ooh, Shkoople getting the red drop.
Yeah, I was about to mention Shkoople got himself a red drop, so that'll be good for later when we do the trees. Chalmers doesn't have any rupees yet, so that might be problematic, but we'll see how that plays out, because there's still plenty more chances for the drops.
Yeah, most of the rats that got in the way of Chalmers during escape, he boomed them, and I believe Shkoople just decided to sword them and kill them, which advanced the prize pack. So Shkoople had a very early red rupee drop, which is really good, especially if he's going to be doing the tree pulls later on in the run.
Oh, definitely, absolutely. So now in here for Eastern Palace, for those of you who may not be familiar, pretty straightforward in terms in terms of just movement. Nothing real fancy yet. The only, at least in my opinion, the only big tech would have to be getting the big key, because you have to damage boost through some anti-fairies to get it.
Yeah, well, you definitely want to go fast in that room, and if you do it the way that the developers intended you to, we would have to kill every enemy in the big key room to be able to get access to the switch that's underneath the pot and get the big key. So we want to go zoom, so we do a couple tricks here.
Absolutely. And so Chalmers will hopefully demonstrate that first. Hit off the enemy, grab the pot, and then go right up. Shkoople does the same thing, and even gets the bonus hit on the other Popo. So good. So that both went well, as now they're making the way to go grab themselves a bow. And so really with the bow room, what you have to be careful of, if anything, is just making sure you have to watch that one Stalfos, as Chalmers is able to walk by him. Shkoople also walk by him, which is good, just because it can block your path a little bit. As demonstrated, Chalmers had to go around, where Shkoople could just hang out right next to it, so no big deal there. And now as they move into Gifted with Greenies, Chalmers taking the slash first and then picking up the arrow, as Shkoople just does the arrow.
Yeah, Chalmers hasn't had any prize pack drops yet, so I think he was trying to force a couple there.
Yeah, that's smart. I mean, because, yeah, like you're saying, it's weird that none of them have dropped. Oh, got hit in the cannon room, but still not too bad. Shkoople had a little better with the pattern there. ZGR goes smoothly for both runners as we approach now the room for Chalmers. Ah, there it is. So Chalmers now gets his 20 from the prize pack. Good for him as we step into Armos. So let's see how well each of our runners here can count to 18. I didn't notice, though, Shkoople on half a heart. We'll see.
Chalmers gets blocked a little bit. He may... Oh, so we got the red Armos. Oh, both runners got the red Armos, so not getting the quick kill on both sides here. So if that happens, the last Armos will turn red, regain full health, and they'll have to use an additional 3 arrows to kill the last one.
Right, and so arrow count is something to be, as pretty much almost the same time they both got the sword up. So we'll see. Oh, look who's in chat. It's the opponent of these two runners here. It's the Fox Lisk. Welcome in. Okay, so now we'll see. I don't know what either of these runners do. I'm judging by their times. I'm assuming they're going to do triples, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, it would be safe to assume that both will do triples, which we can talk about a little bit later during the Agnes Power segment. Both runners getting the boots, and we're going to see our first minor glitch of the category.
Right. And one bit note there is that Chalmers, interestingly, you can actually talk to some of these people further away than instead of just touching them. But as Fricker mentioned here, both of them got themselves the spin speed off of the stairs that allows you to get through Eastern Palace Overworld fairly quickly. And now they're on their way to the library to get the book. Now, I don't know what either of these runners will do. There is a tech where you can, of course, do spin speed going to the library and, of course, returning from. But some will not opt for that.
Yeah, it's minimal time save if you do library spin speed, and basically if you miss it once, you have already lost time just to dashing. But it looks like Chalmers is going for it,
and we'll see.
And Shkoople is going to dash.
Yep, so y'all can see kind of the difference there. Shkoople, of course, holding the side of the building before going into library, as we all often do. Now, though, even though that one was a minimal time save, this one I feel is a little bit more of a time save. It's making sure you get the spin speed coming down the stairs and out of this room, which both do well, so that's good. Oh!
Chalmers taking a bop.
Yeah, unfortunately getting tinked by the guard there.
Yeah, that guard can have some early aggro and just get in your way and bop you out of your dash, which is unfortunate, so it can be quite a bully.
Both get past the guard outside of Link's house.
Shkoople opting to use the book menu to avoid Splashy Dashy.
Yes. So, and Chalmers doing, which I didn't realize anyone did. I thought I was the only one who did the menu to book when you're in the front of desert, but I'm glad I'm not alone.
Yeah, that dash up, sometimes trying to avoid that bonk can be tiresome, but yeah, looks like both runners are just neck and neck here.
And so right now, again, nothing real fancy in the, I guess, in the minor glitch department. Really, the big time difference, I think, at least for this particular segment, is going to be the boss fight.
Yeah, for sure. That's where basically most runs kind of split in timing, just because the Landmola's boss is so tough, and you can get short hops and bad RNG, and 3 cycles can turn into like 6 on a drop of a dime. So
Yeah, unfortunately, shkoople taking a bit of a hit there from the statue is trying to cut that dash a little close. And now another, I guess, minor RNG, not as bad as the Landmos. The Landmos fight is going to be how the cannonballs go. For Chalmers had his stutter step, as did shkoople. They both had the same RNG, actually.
did Chalmers do a chest turn there?
I think so.
What a gamer!
I mean, that's impressive. I don't know many who do the chest turn at that particular one. I only see the chest turn at Aga Tower.
So yeah, both runners making their way through here toward the big chest. They're going to be grabbing a couple more arrow pots. Chalmers is going to be at 23 arrows, which is a little bit on the lower side for Landmo, so I'm not sure if he's going to opt to... Oh my god, another chest turn. I'm not sure if he's going to opt to grab Landmo arrows or not, but I guess we'll see.
Right, and then also what we were mentioning before is that about the rupee count is if for whatever reason Chalmers didn't get any rupees or didn't get the 20, there was also a rupee in that room where he got the arrow pots.
Going for library, good lord. Going for Desert 2 spin speed.
How much time does that save?
It's very minimal. Like, we're talking a handful of frames.
Okay, because I get scared every time I see it.
Yeah, it's especially in a tournament setting. That's a very scary spin speed to do.
But he managed to get through it. shkoople just did kind of the more standard approach there, as both get pretty good. Popo Genocide, as we make to the back here. Gets the key dash, as does shkoople. Now let's see if what Fricker said earlier about will Chalmers, in fact, get at the extra arrows that are here. He does not opt for them. Nope.
All right. Chalmers is hopefully expecting a 3-cycle.
And, well, we'll see how this goes. And now, like I said, this is where, well, as I always like to say, this is where a lot of Master Sword runs come to die.
All right. Chalmers getting bopped a few times on the first wave, but not too bad. Good cleanup. So, Chalmers got hit by a rock and threw him off.
And unfortunately, shkoople got he got a short hopped on one of them there. Okay, shkoople's done. Oh no!
This might be a 5-cycle for Chalmers.
It looks like it. Yeah, and shkoople got himself the 4-cycle. So that's a shame. So unfortunately, I don't know how much is that time loss.
I honestly have no idea, but it kind of stinks when you have to do an extra cycle.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it's measurable, so we'll see how that plays out. Now, shkoople, not going for Cactus Dash. Let's see, will Chalmers do it? I mean, he's doing all the chest turns. Does not do that either, but that's okay. Now, the next minor glitch that'll be coming up here is, of course, Fake Flipper. So we'll see here, which allows, essentially, with proper movement, allows you to swim in the water, despite not having the flippers yet. shkoople first to attempt it. Gets it. Make way to the portal. Gets the portal. Chalmers, all too easy. And also, good portal entry. Yeah, so you just want to be mindful. The only thing you got to be careful, of course, is that if you get hit, you can potentially soft lock. Neither runner opting for that newer strat involving the boomerang, but that's okay, because it's fairly new. So, of course, with the old man, nothing too fancy here. Just the big rule, of course, is you're not allowed to run with them. So walking, unfortunately, they have to kind of take the walk of shame here, but that's okay. And then, the prediction has now started because Yoho needs to get his gambling in. Yes, Valiant. Unfortunately, they're not using the new strat. I know. Get him out of here. Ban him from the tournament. Shkoople having good dead rocks. Chalmers having a 1/ as well, though, but manages to have also pretty good dead rocks now. Ow. Shkoople got hit by random boulder. Will Chalmers follow? No, he escapes.
Oh, snap. Yeah, Chalmers just barely missing that boulder. Oh, and then he takes a boulder to the face.
Why did you say anything?
Commentator's curse.
Correct. So, yeah, unfortunately, with Death Mountain, as always, you can have an excellent run going into it, and just the game decides otherwise. So, it's just unfortunate. Shkoople, I think he got the first quick warp, didn't get the second one.
Yeah, that second quick warp can be pretty tough to hit.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, Chalmers got a little bit lucky there with that dead rock.
So, yeah, we'll be talking about quick warps quite a bit throughout this run. There's a lot of warps to go into. Basically, for every 8 pixels, there's 2 pixels that are quick warp pixels. And basically, it just gives you a faster warp animation, saving a half of a second. A little bit over a half of a second. So, during an entire NMG run, it's like 10 seconds or so that you save. It looks like we will not get any spin speed in this room. Shoutouts to Yoho. But both of them doing kind of the safe version of this. They're not doing any kind of like boomerang shenanigans. Oh, Chalmers taking a bot from those Moldorms. They just kind of do what they want to do. They're so unpredictable. All right, both runners making the climb up Hera. Get into a few tough rooms. The first one's going to be the Beetle room here. Very nicely done by Shkoople. Chalmers having a little bit of trouble, but cleaning up nicely. And he gets the arrow drop. That is the drop you want to see. All right, Shkoople coming into Petting Zoo. Only takes 1 hit. Doing the early bomb jump. He gets it nicely done. Chalmers, I believe, is just going to go for the bonk setup, which is still very good. It actually opens up the bomb jump from 2 pixels to 6, which is very safe and comfy. All right, Shkoople coming into Moldorm, everyone's favorite boss in the Light World. Basically, try to stay away from the edge. If Moldorm pushes you towards the edge, you want to hold away from it, just to stay in the arena. And poking with your sword on the tail, dashing into the tail is very helpful in this fight. Shkoople having a nice fight. Chalmers is looking pretty good. Heading into the final phase. Oh, takes a pop on the dash. But finishes it up nicely. Alright, during this segment, both of the runners are going to be pulling a couple of trees. The reasons that they're going to be doing that is because they need some rupees, which we need 110 rupees once we start the Dark World to get into the first dungeon, which is Palace of Darkness. We have to pay Kiki the Monkey 110 rupees. So the first tree that they get to at the bottom of the cave here, they're going to pull it, collect some blue rupees, and then after that they're going to kill 4 enemies without being hit. If they can manage to do that, the second tree pull is going to be reds, which will total up to 80 more rupees. So definitely something that we should keep our eye on. Make sure that they kill for and they do not get it. Oh, commentator's curse.
So I come back to this, huh? All right, so for Shkoople, that is really, really bad. Because now he has to employ backup strats, which hopefully we'll see here in a bit. Chalmers opting for the crab kill.
Oh, getting hit again by the freaking bush guard.
Bush guard, champion of the world, sadly. So we'll see how well that goes. But yeah, Doom, you're right. I mean, it is better to if you're if you're gonna get hit, it is better for it to happen early, I guess.
All right, so after the Master Sword pull, Chalmers is going to make his way toward the second tree. He's going to get red rupees. Shkoople, unfortunately, is not because he got hit, but luckily there is a backup. So right before we enter Hyrule Castle, Shkoople is going to go off to the right side. There is a tree in the courtyard that he can pull because luckily on the way to Hyrule Castle, there are 4 more enemies that he can kill.
Indeed. So we'll see how that goes. Bruh, yeah. There's 7 hearts on the top of the screen. Just grab one.
Okay, he doesn't have beams to kill the bush crab here. He did miss the crow as well. So he's gonna have to kill an extra guard, probably on the dash down in the woods, I would assume.
Right.
Maybe, okay, we skipped that one.
And as you can see with Chalmers there, this if everything goes as planned, you saw the red rupees come out. So we'll see what happens here. Unfortunately, couldn't manipulate the guard to come down.
Okay, am I crazy? Does Shkoople only have 1 kill?
I lost.
Okay, no, there's 2, and then he's gonna have to kill these 2 guards. I'm a big dumb face.
No, it's okay. I also. Oh, and he gets the heart drop. Well, that actually could be bad. Now that I think about it, that could be bad because now there's potential of him not being able to get the. Wait, are the sword guards or the spear guards on? Or no, not spear guards. But long story short, prize pack may not have the. Oh, it is different. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna shut the hell up.
Yeah, so in this third room of Aghanim's Tower here, you're going to see both runners dash kill these 2 guards. Shkoople's going to have a little bit harder time doing it. Oh, he's just going to... Okay. We get both drops on Shkoople's side. That is very, very unfortunate. So you saw on Chalmers' side, he dash killed those guards. That's to preserve the prize pack because enemies don't drop their item when you dash kill them. Unfortunately... Shkoople had to kill them both, getting both of the drops, so he will not be getting the fairy in Turtle Rock later on in the run, which can be pretty troublesome because we purposely take damage in that segment.
Sorry, I had to step away for a moment.
Nope, you're fine.
All right, so it looks like now both... Wow, again, screen for screen. Shkoople have a little bit of problem with the first guard there, but that's okay. Oh, Chalmers getting key dash. Well, both getting key dash. Wow, impressive. So now they have to do the arrow strats here. All right, so and both looks like Shkoople and Chalmers both get it, so that's good. Now we're getting to pre-circle of pots.
Oh, Shkoople looks like he had a little bit better spear guard room there.
Yeah, a little bit. And Shkoople getting the better pattern for circle of pots, but Chalmers was able to adjust.
All right, both runners coming up on the gatekeeper of the Light World in this run, Aghanim. Aghanim kind of stinks because he's just filled with RNG and can really lose you a ton of time. Basically, you have to hit Aghanim with an energy ball 6 times back at him to defeat him, and after the first attack by Aghanim, because it's a guaranteed energy ball, you have a 50-50 chance of him shooting an energy ball or a blue ball. And of course, if you get the blue ball, it splits. You can't hit it back at him, so it's basically a 6-second time loss for every blue ball we get, and every lightning strike we get is an additional 6 seconds of time loss too.
Fricker, do you want to take the time to go get your clothes out of your dryer?
No, I do not.
Okay, very good. So Shkoople already has one blue ball. And then... Okay. Is Chalmers still on 0?
I haven't seen a blue ball in Chalmers. Never mind.
Okay, very good. So it's 1 to 2 for Chalmers and Shkoople respectively. This one's a guaranteed yellow ball. All right, let's see how this goes here. Okay, so now I believe they're both at 2. 3.
And 3.
Okay. So because of 3 blue balls, now they're guaranteed to have to deal with another cycle of lightning. Chalmers getting a 4th one, sadly. So Shkoople will end at 3. That'll be enough for him. And hopefully for Chalmers, be able to not get a blue ball for this particular round here. And...
Oh no. That's how the game goes.
Alright, so now we're at 5.
No.
Now we're at 6.
Him. He's got to win this 50-50 here.
Now
Oh,
he's at
no.
7. So because he got the 7, he has another lightning phase. So, oof. Okay, so Aga completely refusing to have a good race here. Goddamn. Okay, that's... Alright, so, well, Chalmers now a bit far behind. Peter, he didn't manipulate Aga by botching Tree Rupees. Thank you, Doom Tap. So, for Shkoople, get the spin speed coming off the pyramid, and now make his way into the Pod Overworld, which, for Pod Overworld it's one of those things that it's not bad if everything goes smoothly, but it can be disastrous if it does, if things go south.
Yeah, Dark World, especially like Pod, can be a little bit troublesome, just because we don't have a ton of hearts yet, and Helmasaur can definitely be a bully. But luckily, with the new spin speed tech for Helmasaur, it becomes a little bit safer. We can be a little bit more aggressive. But coming up in the run, the hammer jump is definitely a huge time save, but can be pretty hard because you have to hit 2 pixel perfect spots to be able to land over at the big chest. So we'll see how it goes.
Right, and really you do want to be you want to be careful as well with health, because you're going to be taking at least a hard damage from the hammer jump, and you really ideally want to have full health, especially when you're heading to the back. So, again, for those of you who may not be familiar with Pod here, it's just a matter of getting keys and leaving, opening chests and leaving, and then just resetting everything.
Yeah, it's huge when we mirror and start from the beginning, because that resets all of the bomb pots that we need to pick up. So basically we're getting almost all the bombs we need for the entire run right here in this dungeon.
Mind you, there are a couple of spots where you can get some safety bombs for minimal time loss. Shkoople gets himself a good bombo floor. Olivia, it was 7 for Chalmers and 3 for Shkoople.
Alright, Shkoople is now on his way to the hammer jump of the dungeon. What's nice about it is the game intends you to go to the upper right side of the dungeon and grab an extra small key to get into the room where we have to bomb a wall to get the big chest. Well, that takes too much time, so we're just going to bomb jump across and go through the rail and get to the big chest room much faster. Saves quite a bit of time, but it can be pretty tough. We have to place the bomb on a specific pixel, and then we also have to place Link on a different specific pixel.
As the dryer got turned off.
Yep, perfect timing.
Yeah.
I can't control my appliances.
I mean, you got to get it together, man. I don't know if you got to get it together.
Sorry, everybody.
That's all right. And amidst all of that, Shkoople does manage to get hammer jump first try, no problem. Let's see if Chalmers can repeat that same event there. All right, so Chalmers trying to line up for the pixel. The old 2-bomb, switch back to mirror, try to get in the right spot. All the pause buffers, gets it, no problem. And then shkoople, of course, getting the 1 heart that you get from that pot. There are 2 other hearts there. Shkoople having a little bit of trouble though with the sexy statue, but does manage to get through.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, you can actually menu buffer during that hammer jump like 30 times and still save time over getting the key. It's quite astounding.
Mm-hmm. That statue was rancid. Peter, that's hurtful. Sorry, I'm eating.
All right, very nice long wall cutscene here. We don't get too many breaks during this run, so there's a couple of small cutscenes we do get to take a breather in, but because this game is so input heavy, and then when we're not doing that, we're mashing text, it can be pretty tough at times.
Absolutely, and as you saw from shkoople, as you're about to see with Chalmers, you kind of want to make sure you have beams here just so you don't have to waste the extra menuing of going to boomerang and then back to hammer. shkoople having a good turtle party as we're going into Helma. So, as already mentioned, with the newer tech, of course, is the spin speed, which allows essentially for that hitbox on the mask of Helma and the... Oh, he didn't get it. So he's going to keep hitting. All right, now he got it. Which allows for both the jewel on Helma's face and, of course, the face mask itself to have seemingly a larger hitbox.
Yeah, it's so nice, too, because hitting that jewel at an angle can be so troublesome. So hitting the spin speed tech and then having the larger hammer hitbox is just so helpful to finish this boss off.
And shkoople opting for the sword slashes instead of the hammer, which is fine. And now we'll see if Chalmers can maybe make up a little bit of time here with that. All right, he gets the first try. Took a hit, though, that's okay. But arguably, though, for a lot of runners, it's really this fight that why a lot of runners will still opt for the Sank Heart. Of course, interesting there, as saw on Chalmers' screen, who has a very good Helma fight, is that if you manage to knock off the helmet while in the middle of the fireball animation, the fireball will actually disappear. So that was nice, so you didn't have to worry about that. And now, as Fricker mentioned earlier, unfortunately, unlike the pendants, where we were able just to have to hit one text box, now for every single time with these crystals, we now have to constantly mash. So, as mentioned earlier, not really a break.
All right, headed through the Palace of Darkness overworld. We're going to be headed to grab the shovel and the flute. It's kind of a lengthy overworld, but a lot of enemies around. Some of them can actually lottery hit you through this overworld, which can be quite annoying. Especially some of the lower enemies here in this overworld, the pterodactyl and the snapdragon, they can just do massive damage. So you really got to be careful here.
But shkoople does manage to get through it with ease there. Let's see if he gets first try. Hammer dash, he does. Excellent. And so Chalmers, hopefully he will also not be a victim of the lottery. Ooh, that was close. And then as shkoople making his way around. Alright, gets past Murderdactyl and gets past the dog. Alright, so good for him. Let's see if Chalmers also gets the first try hammer dash. Does beautifully. Now with shkoople here, if you try to keep an eye on, he's going to attempt to go for the quick warp. It doesn't look like he got it, unfortunately.
Yeah, this can be kind of a tough quick warp to get down, but the nice part about getting the left quick warp on this screen is all you have to do is just hold up and shovel. You don't have to like reposition Link to shovel in the right spot, so it does save quite a bit of time.
Yeah, and then if you get, unfortunately, what some call the bad quick warp, you do have to make a slight movement. In order, you have to readjust yourself to avoid a 2-dig. shkoople here, of course, he's going to opt for the spin speed because you want to get past that red guard right there, as we call Usain Bolt.
Fastest guard in Hyrule.
Somehow. And now shkoople will activate his flute. And so now Chalmers, he got himself first dig for the flute. So he'll be making his way to activate to get the bird. And let's see here. Will he get the... He does get spin speed. Easily makes past Usain Bolt. Alright, now shkoople is on his way to go into the portal to go into Dark World so we can go into Thieves Town. Alright, 3 Musketeers. Always a trickier room, actually. Just because go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I was agreeing with you. It's a very tricky room. A lot of tight dashes there to get past all 3 guards.
Yeah, it's one of those things... It's one of those few rooms where you can actually dash too far, which is always weird to say. Sadly, shkoople wasn't able to get the first try hammer dash, but...
Chalmers going for the spin speed. What a gamer.
Wow. Look at that. Alright, both know having good 3 Musketeers. And so here, shkoople gonna make his way into Thieves Town. So, for Thieves Town here, in my opinion, well, again, another one of them pretty straightforward dungeons. The only real... One of the big limiting factors, of course, is always going to be Hellway. But I can't really think of anything else outside of that, really, that one spot.
Yeah, there's a few troublesome rooms. The room before Hellway, the Patrick Star room, can give you really bad RNG. And, of course, hitting Hellway can be really tough, because even if you get the God Pixel, the RNG can still say no, which is unfortunate. And then, of course, the cells where you have to rescue the maiden, you can get some bad RNG in there, and the Zazak, red Zazak on the bottom can just start blasting fireballs up at the top at an abnormal time frame. So, yeah, it makes it really tough when you get bad RNG in those rooms.
Absolutely. And let's see now. shkoople is approaching Patrick Star room here. Okay, good RNG there. Now let's see how his Hellway goes. He couldn't. Actually, the Patrick Star was in the way for him to even. If he got the God Pixel, he'd still have to move.
That was about as best as shkoople could have done in that with the bad RNG from not getting the God Pixel.
Yeah, that actually was really good, all things considered. Because, yeah, half of it, it's not even getting the God Pixel, it's being able to react to the crap that happens when you don't get it. For those of you who are not familiar... Let's see here. Oh, Chalmers took a little bit of damage there. Managed to get through here. I'll explain the attic here in a minute. Let's see. Nope. And again, the Patrick Star denied him, sadly. So, that's a shame. Now, of course, for those of you who have never played the game or may not be familiar with the game here, what shkoople and what Chalmers is about to do, it always looks like, why are they doing this? Because this seems like such a worthless thing to do, of bombing that top. But you do need to bomb that one part of the floor in order to get to do the boss fight.
Yeah, the maiden that we rescue, spoiler alert, that is the boss.
It's true. Let's see. So Chalmers. All right. So shkoople. All right. So here we go. Here's the prison. This is where stuff can go south. He's opting to walk it out, which is fine. You got to get yourself the small key because before you leave, don't forget to pick up the Titan's mitts. All right. He had good RNG with the prison there, so he'll be able to have a smooth run. Otherwise. Okay. Oh, Chalmers, I see, picked up the bomb in toilet room. I didn't notice if shkoople did or not.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention. But either way, having the extra bomb isn't a bad thing, especially in the tournament setting. Chalmers opting for trying to dash through each area. Now, of course, with that though, what's interesting about that is you can't just dash through all of them because you can bonk off of all the doors. So shkoople now into the blind fight. As the running joke is, well, running joke, but it's also true. It's a scripted fight. If you can hit blind in the same spots as he moves around, the fight is quote-unquote free. As shkoople demonstrates.
Yeah, very nice job, shkoople.
Yeah, excellent done. Thank you, DoomTap. Apparently, shkoople got himself the extra bomb and pod, presumably at Hammer Yump. And see if Chalmers can follow suit. Good opener. And so what's nice, the only thing you have to kind of worry about are the heads from time to time, but even then, you don't have to do as much moving as you would kind of think, as random as this fight tends to look. But Chalmers, excellent, gets the job done. So, even with that extra time, even though with all the extra blue balls, it seems like Chalmers has made up quite a bit of time here.
Yeah, Chalmers has had a good Dark World so far, for sure.
Oh, and a gold for Shkoople, by the way. So congratulations to him. So now, of course, we have to go rob some houses so we can go get some... So we got to get some rupees here for later on. Now, for those of you not familiar as well, this is the time where... Because Skull Woods is way up north, but as you see from Shkoople is going south, because you want to rescue the blacksmith because you... just because you want to get Tempered Sword, because Tempered Sword in the long term is a much better investment than just skipping this and trying to do everything Master Sword.
Yeah, getting the Tempered Sword here really helps out with a lot of enemies in later dungeons, and more specifically, a lot of the bosses. You can kill them much faster.
Yeah, and I mean, if for nothing else, though, it really speeds up that Ganon fight, because the difference between Master Sword and Tempered Sword Ganon fights, it just seems like an eternity.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, sticking with the Master Sword is actually faster all the way up until the Ganon fight.
Oh, I actually didn't know that.
Yep.
So, in order to get Tempered, you give $10 or 10 rupees to the smith, then the very quick turnaround of leave the room and come back, and then you have yourself a Tempered Sword. So that's good.
Yeah, everything else in this game is super expensive, except for like a brand new sword. Only 10 rupees. That's all good.
Shkoople with the spin speed. Does he get... Oh, not going for fence. He gets the baby fence dash. So then you come into Sea House, so you can grab yourself another 300. So yeah, as Fricker was saying, now we have enough to get the other key, but also for whatever reason, incredibly expensive item, that being the flippers.
Yeah, we have now gotten all the rupees we need for the rest of the run.
And Shkoople manages to get a good pattern there as he entered Skull Woods. Now, of course, for this particular segment, this is, in my opinion, one of the tougher rooms, is the old mummy room here. It can go south if you don't react appropriately to the RNG presented in front of you. I do want to note, though, Chalmers does get the fence dash. Thank you, Ham. Shkoople, though, getting a good mummy, so that's good.
Yeah, that room can go south real quick.
Absolutely.
Especially, like, getting hit there once or twice. You already have to do another bomb jump in here, and then we purposely fall into the pit. So we're losing some hearts here. So if you end up getting hit a few times in that mummy room, it can be pretty tough to move on.
Right, and so we'll see if Chalmers unfortunately took a hit, but that was close. But managed to actually adjust himself, which is good. You don't really, again, you kind of want to have full hearts before going into this or into the bomb jump, but it's okay. As Shkoople managed to get his fire rod no problem. Of course, infinitely faster. Well, really, all the bomb jumps are infinitely faster than any of the developer intended ways to get some of this stuff. Chalmers lines himself up. Got a bonk. There you go.
There's Shkoople headed into the back half of Skull Woods, which can be pretty tough. There's a few tough rooms in here. The Mummy Hellway can be pretty troublesome, which he's going into right now. And then a few rooms after, getting the Mummy Key can really lose you some time if you miss it.
Yeah, because even with Tempered Sword, these mummies, what is it, 4 slashes? 5 slashes?
Yeah, that's why you'll see Shkoople use the spike damage right there, so he gets the sword hit and the spike damage on the mummy.
Yeah, so that definitely is really, really good there.
But unfortunately, we can't hit Moth into the spikes for spike damage.
Nope, because for whatever reason the developers thought it was a good idea to have... Oh, wow, that was a real quick menu, too. Very nice. Good moth fight there. But yeah, for whatever reason, the spikes... Well, not whatever reason, it's... The spikes are intended to do gold sword damage. However, the developers also put in a little thing that moth doesn't do gold sword damage because, ideally, you shouldn't have gold sword when you come in here. So that's kind of the whole pain with that.
Alright, Chalmers dropping into the moth fight. Hopefully this goes well. It can be very tough with moth moving around and you got spikes and you got the conveyor moving all different directions.
Doesn't get the double poke. But
does get a poke, a very nice moth fight.
Oh yeah, excellent moth fight, because that's the thing too. Usually, as we said, even though that moth doesn't take damage if she's in the spikes, if you do the double poke while in that top area, she will at least get one of those hits. Okay, so now, really for a lot of runners here, this is, I don't know, at least historically, one of the more difficult segments is Ice Palace, because really the big thing, you want to be able to have no damage up until the front of Ice, or up until you get inside of Ice Palace. But let's see here, shkoople, will he get the quick warp? And yes, he does. Gets a quick warp, very good.
Yeah, Ice Palace, oh, grabbing that sign, taking it with you.
Nice.
Ice Palace really ramps up in damage, and mainly because we do the Ice Palace bomb jump, which skips half of the dungeon. And because we're doing that, we're not getting the big key, and we're also not getting the big chest, which contains the blue mail. So at this point, since we're skipping that, the game intends us to have the blue mail, so every enemy that we come across from here on out really hits like a truck.
Yeah, and unlike, and at least in my opinion, I know we're talking a little further down the road here, but Cold Stare is one of those fights that if you were to do a run, if you die at Cold Stare, there really isn't a fast way to recover. Like, you can't just simply run back to Cold Stare most of the time because you need a lot going in.
Yeah, for sure. You need to refill at least some magic to at least get back into the dungeon, but yeah. It's pretty troublesome, and some runners, if they die to Cold Stare, they just go right to Swamp at that point.
Right. shkoople now doing arguably the hardest, one of the hardest areas in the game, Zora Domain. And what I mean hardest to do well. Because you want to try to maximize all of your dashes, but not, as shkoople accidentally did, you don't want to take a swim either.
Yeah, we don't have flippers just yet.
Right. And of course, though, one of the interesting things, too, though, is even though you can Link can run the light water, but can't run in the dark water, those edges that you see there they're a bit of a lie. Alright, so Chalmers also now making his way through, as shkoople got... See, as you just saw with shkoople, it looked like Link was running in the dark water, but it still counts as part of that shallow water, so... That's good. So Chalmers, it looks like he didn't take a jump. He didn't jump in yet. shkoople.
Oh no.
Okay, that's again.
The
that's
tiny
not
warp.
Great. The tiny warp claims another one, unfortunately. So ideally, you would want to have the beams really for the second room of Ice Palace, but we'll see how he adjusts here.
Yeah, when you don't get beams, it's like 99% of the time this bottom jelly will electrify. And it doesn't. Nice.
This is the 1%. Excellent. So yeah, that, as Fricker alluded to, most of the time that jelly will lightning, and then if he does start doing the shock thing, you can't slash him. And then, of course, if you do the fire rod, you still have to wait an eternity for the fire rod animation to end. And unfortunately, Chalmers also got hit approaching the tiny warp again, claiming another victim.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. So now shkoople heading his way into, heading to the back. Now, even before, I mean, yeah, hell, even before going into the Ice Palace bomb jump, one of the big things is making sure to have full hearts in the conveyor room, because that really saves some time by having the sword beams. But Chalmers seems to also get it, no problem. All right. So here's where you get the heart pickup, so now you're back at full hearts. Yep, you And so this is what I mean right here is with the sword beams, you can actually, well, having a little bit of trouble there, but ideally you can actually pick off that jelly that has the key.
And Shkoople approaching the last bomb jump of the run, and one of the more important ones.
Absolutely. Because, yeah, I believe the intention is, oh, and he gets it, by the way, first try, well done. I believe the intention is you're supposed to essentially go through Ice Palace twice.
Yeah, you got to wrap around a few times. It's a very confusing dungeon for a casual player. I remember running this game as a kid. I had to go beat Meyer first to get the cane to get through here because I had no idea what was going on.
Right. Oh, anytime. Oh, yeah, and anytime if I'm doing rando or whatever and I have to go to the back, I always get lost.
Yeah, for sure. It's a goofy dungeon for sure.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, it has ice. It's bad enough as it is. It has ice physics, but then it has all that wonky gimmicky crap. So you know, clearly I'm annoyed.
All right, Shkoople approaching the boss of Ice Palace, which is Cold Stare. Cold Stare hits pretty hard for 4 hearts with the green mail, and then you also have ice falling down from the ceiling, and when the ice breaks, it splits off into a bunch of different pieces. So you got to look out for that as well.
All right, and so this is the big thing. It needs to use all, and you have to be careful with the ice rod because you have to use all of the ice rod shots to get Cold Stare out of their shell. But excellent fight. Excellent fight.
Excellent one poke strategy from Shkoople.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be good. So it looks like according to his splits, he will now be taking a bit of a trip to go get Ether. Oh, Gilgamesh, welcome in. Welcome in. And so let's see if Chalmers can hopefully have a similar fight. Now, I know when you have beams, there are some backup strats, possibly, with the fire rod, but in general, this is a pain.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, Chalmers dropping his sword on the poke, having a little bit of a party, but he should be okay, cleaning up nicely here.
Yeah, and what's nice, too, is that even if he did get hit by Cold Stare, he was able to take 2 hits instead of just 1, so it's a nice little insurance policy.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you have more than 4 hearts, you know, once you get bopped, you're going to get a little bit of time of iframes to move around and get your last couple hits in.
Right. Why do you unfreeze the freezing to death enemy? What? I'm not sure which one you're referring to. Shkoople having a little bit of trouble with the dead rock, but he's making his way up Death Mountain to go grab himself an ether, which he will need to get into Mire later. And so far it looks good. He only had the one trouble with that one. Gets past these idiots. Did he get the quick warp?
No.
No. Will he get the second one randomly? Doesn't look like... Well, I don't know. I can never tell. No, he did not. Oh, well.
Yeah, those quick warps are really tough to get.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, takes the bonk on the rock, even with the menu buffer.
All those frames gone. All the frames wasted.
That's painful when that happens, because you're specifically using that menu to not bonk, and then you still bonk anyway.
Correct. Whereas Chalmers is going to opt for Ether in the Mire split. He's instead going to go straight to Swamp here. So while it may look like Chalmers has taken the lead, remember that he has to go back and go scale Death Mountain just like Shkoople just did. Also, to revisit earlier, Vortex, thank you for answering Kai Star's question. At least hopefully you did. I don't know if that was a quick warp. I couldn't tell. It didn't look like it.
No, he was 1 pixel shy of getting the quick warp.
Okay, and Shkoople didn't get his either, sadly. But to be fair, at least for me, that's a tough quick warp to try to get consistently.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even some of the top runners will just mirror right in the doorway.
Right. Ooh, got hit by the anti-fairy. I don't know if he's trying to go for anti-fairy skip or not, though.
Not a huge deal, seeing how Swamp Palace is actually the second dungeon that's intended by the developers, so not a lot of damage taken here, but still some bad RNG that you can take, so you can definitely lose a lot of your health.
Oh, absolutely. And that you can... While everything does less damage than the enemies in in Ice Palace. Yeah, there's just a lot. There seems to be like a lot more enemies in this particular dungeon. So we'll see now. Chalmers makes his way. Oh, gets rid of the red skeleton. And activates.
Yeah, getting rid of that Selfless there actually saves like 10 to 12 frames in this water animation.
Oh, didn't know that. I thought you had to like grab the bottom ledge or something.
You can elect to grab the wall right before the animation starts, which will save you like 6 to 8 frames or so. But killing the Stelphos is definitely a lot better.
Right. Unfortunately, Chalmers got a little bit of looked like a little bit of a bad RNG there while jumping down. But as already mentioned, the health thing not as big of a concern as other dungeons. Okay, so now we're making his way to the other lever to get the water moving. Of course, you have to be careful with that, or really the big thing you have to be careful with here is making sure you hit that switch again before you leave, because otherwise you will block yourself from getting the big key later. So Chalmers remembers to hit the switch, as does shkoople.
And it will appear that Chalmers has a slight lead over here, and that's mainly because the Chalmers did not get the Ether Medallion yet.
Right. And so I'm also curious to see if he will also get, whether he'll get the Ice Rod here, or when he gets the Ether, or will he get it just at TR?
I think Chalmers does old school splits, so he's likely to get both of those in the Meyer split. While shkoople will probably get Ice Rod and T-Rock.
Right, as a Hot Pocket is being heated at the moment. And yeah, because looking at the split, shkoople is in fact going to be getting Ice Rod in the TR split. How did shkoople not get hit by that fire bar? Magic. So leaving here, or leaving after getting the big key, can be a bit difficult just because you have to kind of be mindful of that jelly, because it could shock you, and depending whether or not you have beams, that can also be a problem. But both handle it well, as now we're going to get ourselves a hook shot. Hook shot, definitely one of the more important items in the game. And now, all right, have a little bit of trouble there. Oh, got hit there. But not a big problem though. Chalmers manages to get the statue. Now you can't tell here, but you want to actually do a hook dash into that pot, so you don't have to worry about walking around trying to get the statue to go, or for the statue to hit the button. Chalmers now making his way down. Why does the hook dash help? To my understanding, Doomtap, it's the fact that and I don't know the whole explanation or the programming reason behind it, but it allows for you be able to move the statue without, I believe it's, what is it? It's hitting, god damn it. I lost all train of thought. And Fricka left me because I made that joke.
I don't want to make too much appliance noise over here.
Because I made that joke about the Hot Pockets. So now he just said forget it. I'm leaving him out to dry.
Yeah, the hook dash, I don't know the science behind it, but it allows you to pick up the pot covering the switch pretty much the first try, just because you're in a goofy hook dash state at the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Chalmers, I think he got the 0 cycle, but did the spins. shkoople, I'm in a little bit of trouble there, but he did get the 1 cycle. Just as a side note, shkoople being above Argus is always a little dangerous to me, because what a lot of people don't realize is as Argus moves up, his hitbox is still active.
Yeah, for sure. And when he goes to the top of the screen, if you're above him, you will take the hit.
Yeah, so it's always a bit interesting there. But yeah, Chris, as Ricky already mentioned, this because it's no major glitches any percent. but default, you do have to pretty much run through all the dungeons. Yep, thank you, Peter.
And the Swamp Palace actually has the longest crystal cutscene in the game.
Indeed it does. So, now once again, this is now where the paths are going to diverge quite a bit here, as we've said several times. Chalmers will now make his way up to Death Mountain, so he can go get Ether, and then, as you mentioned, he's going to go get Ice Rod afterwards. As Shkoople, as soon as he gets done with his cutscene, will immediately head over to Meyer. And so, really, with Meyer, all right. There you go. There you go. So, now, of course, with Meyer, the big thing here is you got to set up for Spooky, the old Spooky action glitch. And also, it's really important that you do not take damage here in this overworld where Shkoople is at the minute. And it looks like, though, smooth for him. It looks like Chalmers got himself a quick warp. Good for him. And, wow, it's always impressive when you get a damageless Death Mountain.
I didn't even know that existed.
Keeping the dream alive. Wayne, what is the story thus far? Yeah? What Ham said is pretty much the answer. It's just a video game. As Vortex also mentioned, the big thing is that Chalmers got stuck with 7 blue balls. Shkoople with 3. And as you see here on Shkoople's screen, this is why you wanted to have sword beams in that room called Meyer 2, because it allows for a much faster version of wiping everything out in there. Chest turn! Links W in chat, please.
Yeah, that's a lot of chest turns so far this run for Chalmers.
Oh yeah, I think it's a 4 or 5.
I think we should have a new category in category extensions. Chest turn %.
Ham, get on it. So Shkoople here.
Yeah, Ham!
So, getting pretty good patterns here. Ooh, missed the Fire Rod shot, but that's okay. That's what the full magic pickup is. Chalmers also has a good Meyer overworld. And so this is really the other, I guess, big break you get. You kind of rest your hands. And that is, of course, right here. 106 torches for Shkoople. And so...
Wayne's got all the good ideas.
ALTTP hack where chests cannot be opened if Link is facing them. Well, Blaine, get on it.
Blaine.
So, Kai Star, the next race is actually going to be Gerdo versus Chex, and then afterwards it's Blaine and whoever Blaine's opponent is, whose name escapes me right now.
I'm not sure who Blaine plays either, but I think Blaine's going to lose that match.
Blaine, who do you play? And so, Shkoople does not opt for Spark Gamble, which is okay, not a problem there. And then, okay, as he's now moving up. Thank you, Peter, for actually answering the question instead of me just being a shit poster. So Shkoople gets himself the red cane there, which of course the red cane, if you're familiar with any of the glitch categories, it breaks the game. Like, if that red cane wasn't around, it'd be a little difficult to have any of the glitch categories at that point. Oh, and that's why Fricker says that. So Blaine actually plays against my commentating partner here, Fricker. So that'll be an interesting run. Should be a good race.
All right, Shkoople setting up for Spooky here. He's going to be kicking up some dash dust before he places this block down on the switch. Nicely done. That's going to set his Spooky up for the first room, where he's actually going to fire out a spike. And the splash damage is going to hit the switch above in this room that you can't see, which is kind of spooky.
And he got it, because you can kind of tell as well, there's always a half a second of the screen kind of just stopping. Whereas more apparent here, yeah. And so really out of all of those, Spooky 2 is, this is the third Spooky. Spooky 2 is probably the most important because it saves you the trouble of having to use a bomb to go in through a bombable, to bomb a wall, then hit the switch, then come back out and do all that. A huge time save. Okay, so Vitreous. With Vitreous here, the fast way to do it per se is you want to make sure that you take damage from the slime. You don't want to take damage from the eyes, because the eyes do 4 hearts, but the slime only does 1. So, as you can see there, Shkoople having an excellent fight, as Chalmers is not too far behind him, actually. Okay. Oh, Chalmers opting for the magic pot. So, it should also be noted now that this is where the paths for both of these runners will converge again. Because after this, Chalmers is going to head straight up to Death Mountain to go to Turtle Rock, whereas Shkoople will have to go to the Ice Rod, or to go get Ice Rod, then head up to Death Mountain. So, it'll start to even out here fairly shortly. Shkoople getting his 2nd gold of the run.
Yeah, Shkoople's on very good pace right now.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything. I just wanted to point out obvious things and not say that.
Yeah, because when you're on PB pace, Ice Rod Cave can be a little troublesome.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to say the chomps.
No, definitely Ice Rod Cave.
Mm-hmm.
End of discussion.
Okay, duly noted. Chalmers also getting an excellent 0 cycle Vitreous, because the thing is, for those of you who aren't aware, if you are too slow in the Vitreous fight, he will shoot out a lightning bolt, which you can't do anything about. And so you just have to sit there and wait. But no problems there, so that'll be good for him. So now Shkoople is on his way. Oh, did he, Peter? Is that why he's mentioning that? Okay, very good. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Okay, so
no.
So possible time save here. Shkoople, unfortunately, getting dead-rocked. Now, there are a couple of remedy. Well, there isn't much you can do, but the only remedy you can do would be to go back into the cave and then exit back out. So that is what's nice, though. Should you accidentally get blocked by the dead rock, if you go off screen far enough, it'll reset, or you have to leave the area and come back. But yeah, Blaine, that's a good point, too, is that he managed to get himself dead-rocked, but didn't lose any health. Like, keeping the dream alive.
Yeah, this T-Rock climb is pretty famous for squirrel dead rock blocks, just because you have so many of them on multiple screens.
And Chalmers being over... Oh, he was trying to go for Waffle House. Oof. Oof. Well, that's a shame. The Dead Rocks, unfortunately, claim another one. As now, Shkoople. Did Shkoople get the quick warp? I know, Peter. It's okay. So I'm gonna head into. Now I wonder if he's. No, okay, he's not. So as you come out of the cave, there is in fact a ferry if you wanted to get a heart pickup. Okay.
Wow, Chalmers is just getting destroyed by both of these squirrels here.
Okay, so the game...
Oh no, dude!
Okay.
Well, that's kind of how the game goes sometimes.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, Shkoople managing to get into the roller room there. And, Shkoople opted to mirror out. Not even going to bother doing the damage there.
He doesn't have the fairy drop, so it's probably better that he mirrored out.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I missed it. I missed that entirely. Alright, so now Chalmers, after that hell of an adventure just getting in, now he will finally get into... Turtle Rock. Okay, got his key. Oh, really, Peter? Yeah, so... Apparently, also, Shkoople does not have the magic drop either. Of course, everyone loves Chomps. Chomps is my favorite room of the game, as I constantly tell Greenham several times over. But manages to get through without getting hit.
Yeah, the Chain Chomps are in the wrong game.
I mean, so are the Pokies, to be fair.
This is also true.
But for whatever reason, the developers have them do just a ton, just for whatever reason, 4 hearts of damage because of reasons.
Yeah, and we have pipes too in this dungeon. Interesting.
I know. I hate all of it. Chalmers, though, Chalmers in a bit of a dangerous spot here if the fairy doesn't drop on this Pokey. We'll see if it does, though.
Looks like Chalmers can take 1 hit from Chomps and be fine.
Yeah, but I feel like you can never just take 1 hit from Chomps.
Getting through. Gaming.
Look at that. But beautiful. Look at that. We're gaming, boys. And yeah, it should be noted as well that shkoople did get the 8 bomb drop. Which, spoilers, not really what you want. Peter, I mean, you do that all the time anyway. So one thing I didn't mention earlier is when you approach, before you approach Pokies 1, you want to take the time to actually be mindful of your arrow count. As shkoople got all the drops there.
Yep.
Literally all
back for the arrows.
Literally all the drops, and yep, he went to go get the arrows too. Chalmers having a bit more of an adventure in Pokies 1. But yeah, you want to be careful with how many arrows you have, and then, you have to kind of be mindful of that. So shkoople here.
Elects not to go for the squeeze. Just does the bonk. A little bit of a safety strat there.
I feel like at like half a moment, I think he forgot he had beams.
That's possible.
shkoople got a little bit late on the platform, as now he's going to take not 1, but 3 hearts of damage, unfortunately. So Chalmers, though... Oh, okay, I was about to say Chalmers was in trouble, but I didn't realize that I guess he didn't get the... Okay. He didn't get the fairy drop until just now, so that's fine. Alright, let's see how Laser Bridge goes. Got rid of the beetle. Whoop.
Ooh, nice. He recognized he wasn't on the right pixel.
That was a good save right there because, again, lasers do 4 hearts of damage, and most of the time, if you get hit by a laser, you also get yeeted into the pit, so you're really going to be getting hit 5 hearts of damage, which is never good. Okay, and makes through the peg maze there, does shkoople. As now Chalmers will make his way into the dark... Okay, Chalmers unfortunately tried to get on that platform a little early, paid the consequence for that, sadly. As shkoople is going to head into Trinex. So he's going to do the backdoor approach. It's 5 slashes. Well, 2 ice rod shots, 5 slashes total. And then 2 fire rod shots, 5 slashes to get rid of the ice head. And he got him. I think he just has enough there. Yep, got the 1 cycle. Meanwhile, Chalmers here gets rid of the beetle. Gets himself a key and leaves. So good laser skip for him. shkoople gets the quick kill there on the 3rd head of Trinex, and so that will be it. And so unlike the other bosses, though, you actually want to stand in the middle of the boss room here because the heart will always be in that one spot, whereas before, the bombs are, or the heart can be wherever the boss dies. And hopefully now Chalmers can have a repeat performance here. So he'll slide. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, he took a hit there, and so he wasn't able to do the backdoor approach, sadly. And he missed 1 fire rod, or missed 1 ice rod shot. Excuse me. Okay, and unfortunately, he will also get the 2 cycle. And a little dangerous territory there. I mean, again, he's now on 1 hit KO. Unfortunately, we'll see. Hopefully. And he took a much safer distance from the head. Oh, okay, good. Okay, little dicey, but he still managed to get through it, so good on Chalmers. shkoople now, heading his way into GT. Oh no.
Oh no. You don't want to take...
Oh no. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So unfortunately... Oh, okay, so drama at the end here. So unfortunately, yeah, the Lionels, they do a lot of damage. They hurt a lot. 4 hearts if you touch him, 2 hearts from the fireball.
Yeah, Lionel Richie's are pretty powerful.
They are for some reason, and I don't understand it. So,
but yeah, heading into GT, 6 hearts down. We'll see how he handles some of the rooms where you intentionally take damage over the spikes.
Okay, so he'll be opting to go get the key at the very top of GT. Because, yeah, I don't remember where there's any chance to get, if there's any, like, pots for hearts along the way or anything like that.
Well, instead of dashing on the spikes when you go upstairs in GT, he can just elect to follow the top row and grab the pots that way.
Yeah, that's also true, too. Okay, now shkoople. Fortunately, he had the iframes there, otherwise he would have got nailed by that spike. So, judging by the arrow counts, it is possible that, at least for shkoople, he may be able to skip the arrow chest after the big key.
Yeah, he'll have, what, 11 arrows left?
Yeah, he'll have 11. Chalmers, though, actually opting for the key at the bottom here, which is a little bit slower, but at least he's guaranteed to have a key, or doesn't have to worry about it by the time he gets to the top. Now, of course, for those of you who may be new here, there's a particular way to take out Armos that you actually need to take him out fairly quickly, because how Armos behaves, or how you kill Armos here, will help you set up for the fire bats for the Ganon fight later. So unfortunately, shkoople does waste 1 shot, but he'll get the big key, and he will take the arrows for safety. That's fine. So now shkoople making his way to the top here, whereas Chalmers is just now 3 rooms away from Ice Armos.
Yeah, Vortex brings up a good point too. Especially if shkoople is watching the restream, he may just elect to grab Josh Fairies, knowing that he's got a little bit of a lead and really low on health.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Fairies are not a bad thing, especially because having 4 hearts going into Gauntlet isn't really a good time, especially in a tournament setting.
For sure.
All right, we'll see how this goes here. Can he get past the spikes? He does. Well done. Whereas Chalmers here. All right.
All right. We'll see if he makes a pit stop here.
Yeah. Will he stop for Josh Fairies?
Yep,
Yes,
he
he
will.
is. So yeah, for those of you who are not familiar, behind this bomba wall is full magic and 2 fairies, and other items as well. Wait, is there a full magic there, or am I just?
Yeah, there is full magic in the bottom pot.
Bottom pot. Okay. Okay, so now.
But as you see, Beams and Gauntlet is not very friendly.
No, it just, the problem with having Beams and Gauntlet is just, aside from the fact that it doesn't do the same damage as the slash, it also, for whatever reason, increases the lag of the room by approximately 400%.
Approximately.
Yes. And yeah, Ricky, that's why Vortex answered the question as to why they're called Josh Fairies. So, shkoople having a pretty... Oh, got hit there. It's okay. Having a pretty decent... having a pretty decent gauntlet there. So now we'll see how his Landmo 2 goes. It looks like he got the 1 cycle. Oh! No.
Oh, no. The
commentator's curse. As soon as I said it, that last fire rod shot went a bit errant. So... Unfortunate there, but that's okay, though. You can afford to miss one fire rod shot and not have to pick up the extra pot for torches here in a bit.
Whereas, there's still. I was gonna say there's still quite a bit of game left in this category, so a lot of things can go wrong. Egatu, Ganon, so Chalmers is still in the run.
Oh yeah, this run isn't. Yeah, it's definitely not over. But of course, as Void has mentioned, Ganon deaths never happened before. They never happen in tournament runs. Um, Everyone always has clean Ganon fights. Unfortunately, for Chalmers, the Lambda fight decided not to be agreeable, so he also got a 2-cycle. So now shkoople, torches 2, pretty good there. And now we'll go ahead and bomb here. It actually is, ideally you really should only have 1 bomb here, but it actually is not bad to have at least 2. Just because of, you can, for whatever reason, when you place a bomb, you can in fact chuck it a little too far and not get the hole. Unfortunately, Chalmers had to 2-cycle the second Wizrobes. shkoople is going to get the Moldorm 2 kill, opting not to hover to save the run. As Chalmers is making his way through here, so far everything's looking to be on the up and up here. So shkoople is going to have, well, pending his Aga 2 fight, he's going to have 11 hearts going up here, so that's not bad. As Chalmers is finishing up. Now, for the Aga 2 fight, it's not 1, but 3 Agas. The good news is that the 2 faded Agas, as you see, will always fire yellow balls. And unfortunately, Chalmers became a victim of that, where the bomb didn't go his way. So now he has to go back and get another bomb. Okay, now he got it. If he did miss it, again, the chest in that room also has... does have bombs in there as well. shkoople manages to kill Aga 2. I have no idea how many cycles. I wasn't paying attention.
I think it was like 4.
Okay, not bad. Alright, so Chalmers also gets the Moldorm 2 kill. Thank you, Blaine, for the 69 cycles. Okay, now... Well, here we go. Let's see how this Ganon fight works out here. So Ganon... Ganon can be a tough fight, but we'll see how this goes. So you get 3 hits in the opening, get the Trident spin, that's 4, and then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. So now we got 12 slashes for the first one, or 12 hits. Then there's 12 hits for the second phase here. And now here is also, because of how the Armos fight went earlier, you have a predictable bat patterns, and so he got through that, got himself what we call a 1-in-1. As Chalmers... Oh, good. Was that a 3-cycle for Chalmers?
Possibly look like it.
Right. And so now for shkoople, we'll see if Ganon
all the warps.
Ganon will let him hit him. All right. Okay, so now for shkoople, it's, well, really the big thing he's got to get is the torch glitch, which he does get successfully. And now it's 12 spins to win. So I think he's currently on 2 at the moment. I'm going to lose count, so I'm going to stop counting. So meanwhile, let's see if Chalmers can get the opening gambit as well. All right, that should be 7. And nope, he got 11 hits before the Trident spin, so unfortunately he got stuck with the 2-cycle there.
Not the worst place for Chalmers to be, though.
No, not really. That's actually a good spot there. So he's able to get all of the other ones, or all of the other 12 hits for the second phase.
And shkoople getting his final hit there. GG to shkoople.
So as long as he doesn't fall off the platform, this will be GG for shkoople. And unfortunately missing the PB by like 4 seconds. Because someone had to say something. Oh, Chalmers did not get Torch Glitch.
Oh, no.
So this could be problematic. We'll see how he can play this out, though.
Yeah, without Torch Glitch, you're really only safe to go for 2 spins per cycle.
Right.
I mean, hulking Ganon and not getting the spin there.
I mean, honestly, for me, I would just... I usually just drop down and just start the whole thing over again. And so far, Chalmers still being able to hold his own here. Okay, that's good. So he's waiting for the fire bat so he can position himself appropriately to get the maximum number of spins.
Yeah, Ganon's tough, and I am definitely the person to talk about missing torch glitch. It's a big pain in the butt.
Yeah. Why is Chalmers using lantern instead of fire rod? Because Chalmers has to use the fire twice. It's a less amount of magic consumption by using the lamp over the fire rod. And assuming Chalmers does not fall, this will also be a GG for him as well. Sub 130. Excellent. Congratulations. And so, let us bring in... Oh, we have brought in the party people, it appears. So, first off, shkoople, congratulations.
Thank you. GG.
Yes, GG's to both runners. So, shkoople, how do you feel knowing that Fricker ruined your PB?
I don't know how you ruined it, but I think me getting my face stuck on that peg really ruined it.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching the reach.
I hear myself twice. I need to mute myself. I hear myself twice. That's not good. Okay, there we go. And so, but yeah, congratulations though, shkoople. You got yourself 2 golds, by the way, in both Thieves Town and Mire. So excellent job there. And Chalmers, I must say though, for getting 7 blue balls, you did very well for yourself, honestly.
Until a certain point, but thank you.
Look, we won't talk about that. All right, we'll let that go.
All right.
But either way though, so I guess yeah, shkoople, how did you feel though about were you watching the race?
Not at all. No, I like to play in my own little bubble.
Okay, that's fair. And I know Chalmers, you were chatting, so I know you were actually watching the race there.
I don't watch. I just have the chat up.
Oh, okay. So you were just in there randomly ship posting as needed. Okay, very good.
Yeah, pretty much.
Excellent. And so shkoople, how did you? So obviously you probably saw your splits. You noticed that you were ahead for pretty much all of that. Were you worried about either trying to take some chances for PBing or trying to take safer strats? What were you thinking as you were heading into GT?
I was just playing normally until that Lionel ruined my day, and then I was like, well, as soon as they hit me, I said I'm getting the safety door, because I'm just not gonna climb GT with that amount of hearts in a race.
Oh no, absolutely not. Yeah, the Josh Ferry.
I think I would have died too, right? I think I got
yes.
in the gauntlet quite a bit.
Yeah, you had 4 hearts. You had 4 hearts if you didn't get it, and you got. I think at the end you only had 4 hearts, 4 or 5 hearts at the end.
Yeah.
And then, so Chalmers, like I said, it just an excellent makeup there for you. But unfortunately, Fricker, do you have any other questions?
No, it was a good game on both sides. Obviously, the 7 blue balls was a little unfortunate on Chalmers' side, but that's just the way she goes sometimes. And handling a comfy dark world. I guess I'd like to know Chalmers' thoughts on the squirrel blocks right in front of T-Rock.
I was trying not to bring that up.
No, it was actually fucking hilarious. As soon as I was doing that, I was just laughing the whole time after I hit each squirrel on both occasions. First the rock getting blocked, and then the stairs. I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah, it was a little unfortunate there, but
it happens.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm surprised. I would have thrown something across the room probably if that were to happen to me. But either way, though, unfortunately, this is the end for Chalmers, who will be leaving the tournament, but in good standing.
Unfortunately. Sorry.
Unfortunately.
I'm free.
Whereas
shkoople, knock each other out.
I figured as much. And shkoople, you have the honor of taking on Fox Lisk. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's only 1 more week for me, I guess.
And that is the confidence that we like to hear. And so we'll start with you, Chalmers. Is there anything you want to say to your adoring fans?
Polish your knobs, type 1, praise Moyai, and thank you again to all the comms throughout the tournament, all the ZSR staff, the restreamers, the people putting this together, and basically thank everyone for putting this on. It's been a real fun time, and I'm very appreciative of being in it. And yeah, thank you guys for the opportunity.
And thank you, Chalmers, for that motivational message. And then, Shkoople, do you have any final words?
Thanks for the restream. Thanks for watching. And yeah, I don't know. That's it.
Okay, very good. And so now, on that note, we will take it back to Ricky.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you to our runners, Shkoople and SNES Chalmers. That was an awesome race to watch. And thank you to our commentators, Fricker22 and Misanthropic Buddha. Did a great job. Coming up in just 25 minutes, we have our next race in the NMG tournament. It's going to be Chex Human versus Gerdo. So hang tight, everybody. We're getting that set up, and we will see you back here in 20 minutes or so. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Bye!
Rolling out.